TikTok compilation that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
A missing ocean predator that has disappeared, been gone since the 1800s, was recently recaptured in a fisherman's net in Chile. They found a Chilean angel shark for the first time since 1887. It's like a flattened shark with these crazy wings. There's like 11, 12 species. They occur all over the planet in various temperate regions where they look similar.
I doubt that this was the only one.
No, absolutely not. There's certainly a population there. Angel sharks like a sandy bottom. Typically, like an open sandy seafloor is not the best for fishing, right? That's not where all the fish hang out. My guess would be if someone were to do a proper survey or study of the area, you'd find out there's still a population of them in whatever area.
Someone just caught one on a crankbait via kayak, and crazy how they just found it since the 1800s, and we have so much footage of it.
Beyond meat, but I've stepped in to help with my greatest asset, my taste.
Let's see that again. Here's my impersonation of a person chewing something they haven't eaten.
This plant-based. This plant-based. This plant-based. This plant-based. This plant-based.
Because she told them, I ain't eating no fake Beyond Meat. So they told her, you don't have to eat it, just pretend. So she did it for a few seconds and got her $1 million check.
I would trolls on the internet that I will find each and every one of you and not threaten you on TV, but it's wrong. Like, it's so wrong when the whole world is looking at you, laughing at you, calling you every name in the book. You know how hard that is?
So it seems as though the celebrity block list is a thing. I didn't jump on it. I quit watching TV like 10 years ago. Now, I'm not sure if this video is AI or not. I could not find it anywhere else other than TikTok. But if it is AI, it is an excellent AI. But the reason why I wanted to make a video is to tell you that even these famous people in Hollywood need to understand they are no different than somebody on TikTok trying to make a video, or somebody on OF trying to make a video to make a few dollars. So I think they're learning that your tier is no different than my tier, especially since my tier drives your tier. Think about it.
I block all of the Kardashian, so I'm with you on that. But this is not her response to being blocked. This is much older post.
You ever wondered why we don't eat turkey eggs? I mean, think about it. Turkeys are the 4th most popular meat in the US. There's tons of them, so why don't we eat their eggs? Well, it's not that you can't eat them. You can totally eat turkey eggs. In fact, they taste a lot like chicken eggs. So if that's not the reason, then what is? Well, turkeys can be a lot more expensive to raise than chickens. I mean, you can tell by their size that they require a lot more food and space. On top of that, turkeys lay eggs less frequently. Chickens can lay an egg every single day. Turkeys, when properly cared for, could probably lay 1 to 2 eggs a week, and in a factory setting, I doubt they would lay that many. But the main reason is pretty self-explanatory. Turkey eggs are about 50% larger than chicken eggs, and when you factor in the cost of raising turkeys to produce eggs, their eggs would probably cost around $3 each, which you could spend that much to get an entire dozen of eggs in some parts of the country. So it's just not cost effective. I know people in the comments will be like, I eat turkey eggs, my turkey lays eggs every day, good for you. But for the rest of us, we probably won't see turkey eggs in store anytime soon. But if you want more interesting stories like this, subscribe to my newsletter. The link is in my bio.
In my entire life, I have never once wondered why we don't eat turkey eggs.
If you were thinking about visiting Spain this year, don't. Because they don't want you. You see, recently a number of anti-tourism protests have been carried out by locals. But today, they went as far as shouting at people go home while spraying water guns at tourists while they were just sitting down eating. Guests were even prevented from leaving their hotels after protesters taped up the exits. And it's not just a few people that feel this way. Tens of thousands of people have joined these campaigns in countries around the world. Locals in cities from Rome to Venice to Amsterdam, Lisbon, Prague, Santorini, and even many places in Japan and Bali. Well, they've become so frustrated with tourists jamming up streets, making noise, partying, littering, and driving up the prices of housing. They say that a number of the most iconic destinations around the world have become both unlivable for locals and too overcrowded, unsafe, and uncomfortable for visitors. But because tourism contributes to a country's economy quite significantly, you probably won't be seeing any flat-out restrictions anytime soon. You might just get a few more nasty looks and feel a lot more unwelcome. So the question is, do you agree with locals and tourism is getting out of hand? Or will this not deter you from your holiday this summer?
If you live in touristic destination like I do, you'll understand how frustrating is your hometown relying on tourism. It literally destroys the local area. Hey, but we still welcome you with open arms.
I know it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, but can we please talk about the fact that the History Channel keeps throwing stuff like this in our face? Meanwhile, we literally pay electricity bills? 1 second. Check out this picture behind me that was taken in 1979. So allegedly, Dr. D. Nelson and his wife used a Tesla coil with the Great Giza Pyramid, and they made it come alive again. And we're still paying for electricity? But even more so, is it not really odd to y'all that the History Channel has been throwing stuff like this right in our face? I'm not even kidding. Like, they are certain this is what they were for. They have no idea how they got there, but they know exactly what they were for. I feel like how they got there was pretty freaking obvious. See all the teeny people behind me? These are regular sized people. There were giants in the earth in those days and after that. These guys know way more than they let on. And this is one scenario in one industry. And all around the world they were the same as much advanced. But if this is true, I wonder why they would keep it hidden. What do y'all think?
They keep it hidden because it goes against everything they taught us for generations. Okay. No. It's behind you. Ghosts don't need to open doors, folks.
Never seen people clown a woman for getting the beats by her boyfriend before, but that's what's happening right now with Bad Baby, aka Catch Me Outside girl. She went to social media to post her eye after bruh gave her a Mike Tyson uppercut, is what I can call it, from the photos that she had posted. She stated that the reason this happened was because he keeps trying to like take her daughter, that they haven't been together since May, but you would think people on social media are like feeling sorry for her, hoping that she gets away. It's actually the opposite. You have people on social media not only stating that, one, this is because she likes to choose these hood dudes that don't care. Secondly, that she got pregnant by somebody that she barely, knew, I guess. I don't know how they know that information, but I'm just going off of what I read in the comment sections of the blog pages. You even have some of those saying that call the police or don't do anything at all, because she posted and deleted all the info. So she posted the crime and then deleted it right after. So they're saying that that's signs that she got back with him, or she's not trying to take legal action. And you already know how social media is now. If you're not going to take legal action, social media does not care anymore about what's going on. But I do not support in these type of actions. What do you guys think of this?
Never laugh at another woman's pain. Praying she'll be okay.
Let's consider one of the things that this is talking about. Again, this is where I have issues because we're talking about two-dimensional or three-dimensional space that does not exist. We're still talking about imaginary things instead of talking about real things like math's departure from where numbers started representing actual things. Math departed from that to where now math doesn't represent actual things. The numbers don't represent any true things, and so anything can happen inside the mathematics that they build from. But when you have the actual stuff, like what I wanted you to do, if you could lay these out, if you shine a light on these, yeah, they end up creating all of the cymatics. Align them. This will continually predict every harmonic note, every wave function. It will continue on. They overlap on each other to where any side, any crystalline configuration that somebody could hope for occurs. This is the supersymmetry that I'm talking about that defines the entire wave field. This is the crystalline electric wave field. That's not even, that's just one of the crystals. How cool is this?
Eric really showed him what intelligence is, and Terrence wasn't as confident.
One would be a sexual attachment because the Bible says we become one with that person. Right. So when you have sex outside of marriage, it is so much more involved than what we think it is. Yes. And so especially when people go from partner to partner to partner, we leave a piece of ourself with every single person. Okay. Your soul can be bound by swearing an oath. So there could be times where my soul, because I made an oath or a vow, can be held in captivity to that. And so nothing goes right for me because I'm still held over here. Like if I say, I am never going to get married. And then we wonder why we don't get married, or I will never forgive this person, or I'm never going to love again. And that vow, the Bible's very explicit on that. Let your yes be yes and your no be no, because vows hold us. They take a part of our soul and lock us in. Psalm 42:5-6 says your soul can be cast down or bowed down, which would be like a depression. This is an interesting one. The soul can be hunted, or there be things that lie in wait to snatch the soul. Now, if you're in deliverance, you can hear a lot of times the word soul hunters. What is a soul hunter? Go to Ezekiel 13:18-20. It talks about when God reprimands the women, witches, who sold together pillows and charms and magic potions, that they may snare the souls of my people. So he talks about that they can trap a soul. I remember the first time I heard, and this is going to sound crazy to some people, when I first got into deliverance, I had to put a lot of stuff on the back burner because I thought, Lord, I've never heard of that before. But the enemy is a lot more strange, and there's a whole lot of things that go on in the spirit realm that Christians kind of pull the wool over their eyes, and we need to have our eyes opened. You know. But anyway, I remember hearing about somebody had their soul locked in jars, you know. But then again here, and I thought that was weird. But anyway, then I heard about a bunch of entertainers from America here going over to Africa, and other witches here going to Africa to connect with ancestral spirits and witch doctors in order to trap the souls of babies and children, which is interesting, and lock them up. Yeah. I know I'm speaking to people because many people today think they can dabble with the occult and it not affect them. Yeah. It will affect you. You will literally lose a portion of your soul, but you have the authority as a believer to take it back. How can I go into another realm and take somebody out of that realm and bring them back here and ask the Lord to reintegrate them? Let me say this to you this way. When you got born again, you didn't get born of this physical. You got born of the spirit realm. When you speak in tongues, you are doing it in the physical, but it's not of the physical. It's of the spirit realm. If I prophesy, I'm stepping into the spirit realm to get the prophetic words. So Jesus removed that veil. And because the veil's been removed, and because we've been given authority, I have the authority to go in and take any captive out. You know, the devil might think he has them, but no. Soon as we find out you got them trapped, you ain't going to keep them trapped no more. You unlock that in the name of Jesus. You go back to whatever happened to that person, and you take them out.
This is good. You're taking on demons of the other person you have sex with. Demons among many other things. This is what Christians should be learning and how to do it.
And that's how you take down your stuff after camping in a 100-foot high tree web. I've been at this project on and off since January, and it has
Wow.
been just insane watching this idea unfold into reality. The moment Val and Warren sent me a picture of this tree, I started obsessing over how I was going to get people into it. I came up with a lot of different plans beforehand, but ended up settling with a simple straight-up spiral climb. As it is now, Franklin's Tower can hold parties of 20 to 30 people 100 feet high up, and the spiral staircase makes it easy for most people to get there.
No way.
We haven't done anything too big here yet, but definitely plan on doing some campouts or tree jams this summer. Designing the stairs was a pretty interesting process. I ended up making it phase through a lot of different styles, and some places are more normal spirals, some have more like Moki steps, and some are more like full-on web stairs. And of course, I did all of this without any safety equipment. My only tools are the rope I'm building with, scissors, and a lighter.
How safe is this? It looks awesome, but kind of scary. And I'm good with heights.
It's me, and I hear it, and I can feel some pressure, but I can't really feel her kiss me. That's my left eye. I'll look my teeth. What you see here is actually bone.
November of 2008, 23-year-old Daniel Weens was working with his brother and uncle at Ridgely Baptist Church doing a small touch-up painting job on the building. Touch-ups needed to be done at the top of the outside of the building, and so Daniel himself volunteered to get into the platform of a hydraulic boom lift or cherry picker. And so he did and began operating the machine, raising himself higher and higher, unaware of the danger he was going directly towards. His two relatives could only look on in horror as they saw Daniel raise himself directly into a high voltage electrical wire that was suspended just above his forehead. For 15 seconds straight, electricity seared through Daniel's body. Once this electricity let go of Daniel, his body slumped down to the platform, and his brother fell into hysteria at what he had just witnessed. And it was actually Daniel himself who mustered up the strength to call 911. But when medics arrived, the burns had actually fused Daniel's lips together by that time. And over the course of several days, Daniel's cells and his facial skin began fusing with his muscle, fat, and even hair, becoming this translucent shell that was now his face. He was left with only a small slit for a mouth. As surgeons gradually removed piece by piece of his face for his own recovery and safety, Daniel's family recall feeling like they were witnessing his identity be taken away piece by piece. But in 2011, Daniel received a life-changing face transplant and actually went on to marry his now wife at the same church that nightmare accident occurred.
Good for him. But pre-surgery, he didn't have eyes, but after the face transplant, he did? Were they real or just prosthetics?
Older people don't listen to younger people. They become slow amongst older people. When younger people don't listen to older people, they become slower amongst younger people. If young people would listen to older people, they move faster amongst younger people because you got advanced knowledge.
Right.
And when older people listen to younger people, we move faster in the older world because you got new knowledge.
The hard part is to determine whether the person is the right person to listen to. The first video is how I scare my mother if I'm bored, and she just slapped me.
How to detox your lungs from years of smoking in just 5 seconds. Many people struggle with the effects of years of smoking, dealing with persistent coughs and feeling like they can't catch a full breath. If you're looking for a simple and effective way to detox your lungs, I've got a solution for you. Take a shot of water with 2 capsules of moringa. Moringa is a powerful plant known for its ability to help break up the mucus in your lungs, allowing you to cough out months of dirty mucus buildup. This can significantly improve your breathing and lung health. But that's not all. Moringa is packed with pure antioxidant power, which helps fight off harmful substances you breathe in daily, like smoke and air pollution. These antioxidants protect your lungs and overall respiratory system, promoting better long-term health. I take my moringa from Rosabella, a group of researchers that produce the highest quality and most potent version of naturally harvested moringa. The best part about Rosabella moringa capsules is that they're easy to swallow and tasteless. You don't have to worry about any unpleasant flavors. Plus, they're convenient to keep on hand. Just store them in the fridge for easy access. If you want to try their moringa, you'll find it on Amazon using the link in my bio.
Moringa grows everywhere in my area.
This is episode 2 of guys who nearly killed the multi-trillion-dollar fossil fuel industry but disappeared instead. Meet John Christie and Lou Britz, who built a magnetic over-unity device that could power a house for 1,200 years.
So John, this is the machine? Yes, this is it. Chris, what's it capable of? Well, it'll power a house.
The core mechanism of the Lutech 1000 involved a set of strategically placed magnets around a rotor. These magnets were arranged in such a way to create a continuous motion through magnetic repulsion and attraction, which is typically deemed impossible by conventional laws of physics. As the rotor spun, it would drive a conventional generator to produce electricity. The key innovation claimed by Johnny and Lou was the ability to maintain the motion of the rotor without an external power source after an initial input to start the motion. After going public with Sky News in the early 2000s, they began sourcing seed funding to get their product to market, which they believed they could retail at around $5,000. Shortly after their success, they started filing patents as well. It was at this point I'm sure they wished they could have published their patent on the Cashew app for everyone to see before it was too late. Can you guess what happened to them next?
I believe this is the same way that we are given the science to make the rich wealthy.
Hey, I want you to check this video out. You're absolutely gonna love it. Wait till the end.
This is the way you buy diamonds if you really want to save money, and I really want to offer good prices to the consumer.
You know that guy?
Yep.
There's more. Wait for it.
So I got a lot of gold in my hand, and we're going to count exactly how much it's worth. Each kilo is at an all-time high of $77,400.
That is absolutely amazing. There's more.
So this is a diamond mine. And once the diamonds are depleted, there is still a future for this mine.
Wow. He's in Africa looking for diamonds and gold.
Ah, forget it. Let's try. You gotta choose one.
I like
Traction
her.
figure in gold or the $100.
He goes to Africa to get gold, where gold is in Africa, and he's offering an African girl gold or US dollars because he knows she has no access to gold. Now here's something you're definitely going to find interesting.
Oh merde! Merde! Merde, c'est tout, excuse-moi. Donc voilà, c'est tout ce qui est là, mais c'est Sofna, mais c'est Pablo, c'est nous qui sont là ici. Je suis avec
That's where he gets his gold from. That's where he gets his diamond from. Have you ever heard the name Dan Gertler? Dan Gertler is from that country we all cannot name. He has ties to that guy. Same country, funded by his country. They are the ones funding and starting wars in Congo. They are the ones starting the wars in Gambia, in the Congo. They are the ones starting the wars in the Sudan. They are the ones threatening the Sierra Leonean government, if you don't stop us stealing, we are going to start a war in your country and destabilize it. And then he comes to TikTok. He has 1 million followers. So African people, we have to start being proactive, not reactive. What if we all started going to his account every day he posts, every single African on this app? There's more than 100 million of us. What if we went to his account every day and reminded him that that is blood gold and that is blood diamonds? What if we did that? Like, do you understand the level of confidence required to start a war that children, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old children are dying in mines for you to get that same product of that war, to come on TikTok and be giving people out, hey, you want that, to even have the nerve to show yourself going to Africa, where you know you are stealing it, you are killing children for it. So us Africans, we cannot rely on anyone to help us. They don't care. They want diamond rings. They want golden chains. They want to be on this app on engagement talk. They want to talk about having the biggest diamonds. Our children are dying for those diamonds. We cannot expect them to speak up for us Africans. We have to do it ourselves. Tracks NYC. Go to his website. Go to his profile. Go in there. Every jeweler, let's force them to show us how they got it. We know this guy's got everything he's got is stolen. We know it's blood diamond. We know it's blood gold. What are we going to do about it?
It's not just Tracks NYC. We must check every single jeweler. And the Arab governments are doing the same exact thing in Africa countries.
Is this what the Amish use if they don't have a buggy?
Yeah, this is called a scooter, and
I see you have like, what, 14-inch wheels?
no, these are 16-inch.
Are they?
Oh,
Okay,
The
nice.
ones that are 20 inches.
she knows.
You have a basket.
A basket. You can
You
put
have
all
a
your.
light on here.
So what do you normally put in here? Like, do you go grocery shopping, library, or?
No, this is only for short distances.
I see.
So,
Oh, that's a light.
yeah, this is a light, and this is my brake for the front brake, and then.
Do you have a
here's-
back brake?
Yes, here's my back brake. I just kind of push down on it.
Oh, that is just so
and then
cool.
we have fenders for our, like if mud and water on the road.
You got a, what is that, a blink that blinks?
It doesn't work, but yeah, it's supposed to be.
That is so cool.
She is beautiful, polite, and her outfit is so respectful. I love Amish people.
Before I come to America, I didn't understand why so many American men came overseas to Ukraine to their wife.
Okay.
So for me it was very strange why men go so far away, spend so much money, and etc. And today I understood why, because we... So I think because we have much bigger family values, and we love to feel like a woman, and we love to see the man like a man. And I think I'm a bit older than all of you girls, and I can tell you in my 36 years old, I love when men care about me. I love sometimes when he tell me what to wear, because it's a care, it's a love. How man else can show you the love? If he just wanna care what you're wearing, believe me, he don't care. He just you leave. But if he care about you, he tell you, baby, please do this, do that. So this is care, this is kind of love. So just appreciate it.
Wow. Many Americans come here looking for a wife, and I don't blame them, because the women here will take care of you after you come back from work. They cook, they clean, they serve you, they even massage you. They respect you. My mother was with my father for almost 55 years until he passed away last year.
So the Knights Templar video has definitely blown up, and I find it fascinating that there are so many connections out there. And I just want to tell you a few little tidbits that I know and I'm learning that are, as I said, I had to process the information. I have seen this symbol in meditation before. I never, ever put two and two together that it was also the symbol that the Knights Templar used on their whatever as a symbol for them. I saw it in meditation in like, you guys are going to think this is nuts, but I'm just going to say it the way I feel it, know it, and have experienced it. And you can do with the information however you want. You can scroll, you scroll on, go, that girl's, she lost it. Because you know what? 5 years ago, if I saw myself on here, I'd be like, that girl's lost it. But anyways, here's the info, because it's info. I can't make this stuff up, right? This symbol I've seen when I've astral traveled to in other dimensions. This has existed in some crazy outer space. I saw this symbol and it was like, it looked like it was light. It was made of complete pure light. And it was this symbol, but it was so bright and shiny that I never put two and two together. But I was like, I think I've drawn this before. I even tried to do some art, because I wrote a children's book, and I was like, maybe I'll use that program with Adobe and draw this symbol and try to capture it. And I just couldn't capture the beauty of it that I saw. And I remember seeing it over and over again, and I would put it in my journal. Never put two and two together that the Knights Templar had this symbol. Here's what I know about the symbol as far as my meditations go. It was shared with me that it itself has energy. It's an energy source of sorts. And this symbol that I've been seeing all this time is, I'm not religious, guys. I know this is going to sound crazy. It's Christ. They were told me it was Christ consciousness. And it's a consciousness that Yeshua himself could tap into to heal people. It's almost like a tool to reach another dimension, to bring healing in. I don't even know how to describe this, but you have to use your heart. So this whole thing with going within, you have to be tapped in and tuned in. This is your engine right here. You have to be tapped in and tuned in with love and just compassion. Just like Yeshua, actually, if you think about it, with so much love and trust, and to be able to use this symbol. And one more piece. It is not by accident that the Knights Templar put this symbol over their heart. I mean, come on. They knew stuff.
Astral travel is demonic. This is a New Age BS practice. And you don't need to be religious with Christ. You focus on the relationship.
7 years ago, Pete Davidson said this about Drake.
Best actor of all time. The sweetest guy ever. He gave us all OVO jackets.
Is that really true?
Yeah, he got us all SNL, OVO, Roots jackets.
Pete Davidson and Pete Rosenberg explained that Drake's public persona is a complete act.
He's been acting as a dope rapper. He's the best actor of all time.
I say the same thing. It sounds like an insult. But it's not. It's not.
It's not. He's dope. He's dope.
He happens to be good.
He happens to be
good. But the part he's playing is not him.
Yeah, that's not him at all.
Pete Rosenberg explains how Drake has a similar background as him, and therefore he knows him.
All you have to do is meet someone who's like you and know, like, I know you.
Right.
I know you.
Right.
Suburban Jewish rap loving
Yeah.
kid.
How are you? Yeah.
Yeah. I know you. You're a Canadian.
Yeah.
You're a I'm Maryland. You're Toronto. But I know who you are.
Yeah.
One of the comments said this aged like fine wine.
He's just
it's performance art.
He's the sickest. I can't. It's so hard to explain, and I'm so glad you get it. The best actor ever.
What do you guys think? Are they talking nonsense or do they have a point?
Exact same situation as Tupac and countless others.
Diabetes can be conquered, and it can be conquered quite easily, whether it's type 1 diabetes or type 2. Type 1 diabetes is usually if the pancreas is damaged, and it is said that the cells don't make any insulin, but I have seen pancreases revive once they're given the right conditions. As I have mentioned several times before, page 127 of the Ministry of Healing states, in the case of sickness, the cause should be ascertained. Wrong habits corrected and unhealthful conditions changed. Then nature is to be assisted in her efforts to expel impurities and re-establish right conditions back in the system. So let's have a look at some of the main causes of diabetes. Number one, believe it or not, is food. And there are some foods that cause diabetes, and there are some foods that can heal diabetes. So what I'd like to begin with is looking at what is causing diabetes. And never in the history of mankind have human beings eaten so many carbohydrates.
I love this lady. She's so smart and sweet at the same time.
Part infinity.
You just paper spray the bear.
Listen,
just paper
I
spray the
know
bear.
you're supposed to do that. I get it. You're supposed to carry your bear mace,
Oh,
your
bear
bear
mace.
spray, and you're supposed to use it if you come in contact with a bear. I always just think about the animal, bro, because the animal's in his crib. So in my mind, when I saw this, I was like, bro, imagine getting pepper sprayed in your own house. Imagine getting pepper sprayed in your kitchen, bro. Somebody just walks in and is like, tss. That's actually crazy. If you think about it that way. Because the bear is living his life in his habitat. And you're in there with a camera. And then the bear says, who are you? And he gets pepper sprayed? Insane.
That's a good point. It seemed like the bear was only being curious, but still scary.
The 5 stupidest deaths this week. Number 5, Gaston's head explodes. In 2015, 22-year-old Devon Staples, a Disney World performer who plays both Goofy and Gaston, got a little bit drunk and thought it would be funny to launch a firework from his head. His family and friends tried to stop him, but he wouldn't listen, saying what a great idea it was. He placed a reloadable mortar tube on his head and, lighter in hand, ignited it. Once the fireworks set off, his head exploded, killing him instantly. Number 4, pancaked by a vending machine. It's December 1998 and 19-year-old Kevin is celebrating his end of final exams. He was arguably feeling a little bit too confident and decided he wanted a free soda. So he decided to shake a 420-kilogram Coke vending machine, hoping that one would just come loose. Him shaking the machine caused it to tip over, crushing him, and he died of asphyxiation. And even after the vending machine fell, not a single can was released. Number 3, the man who recycled himself. In 2013, 56-year-old Roger Miro from Illinois accidentally lost his phone. And his best guess was that it must have fallen in the bins, which had just recently been taken. But he didn't let that stop him. He managed to borrow a key for the trash room and started searching for his phone inside of the trash compactor. And when he was late to come home, his wife decided to call the police. Police officers entered the trash room, and inside they found a ladder propped up against the side of the machine, and inside of the trash compactor they found Roger's dead body with obvious signs of trauma. Number 2, the man who died from laughing. In 1975, Alex Mitchell from England was watching an episode of The Goodies that he found so amusing, he laughed continuously for half an hour, which is almost the entire length of an episode. The strain on his heart from laughing so intensely caused him to have a fatal heart attack. Alex's widow later sent The Goodies a letter thanking them for making her husband's final moments so pleasant. That's kind of weird. Number 1 is either very stupid or very tragic, I'm not sure. But before I get to it, if you like these sorts of videos and you want to support the channel, please just drop me a follow. It really helps me out. Number 1 is the man who died getting his phone from underneath a cinema chair. In March 2018 at The View in Birmingham, a 24-year-old man dropped his phone under the footrest of a electronic reclining seat. After the movie ended, he reached under the chair to get his phone back with his head entering underneath the footrest. The chair, which was malfunctioning, started to recline, trapping his head and crushing his skull with the weight of 750 kilograms. Despite his partner and the cinema staff's desperate attempts to free him, the man went into cardiac arrest and tragically passed away.
I don't want to be that person, but you probably shouldn't call a heart attack a stupid death.
Want to hear a scary animal story?
Yes.
In 2006 in Sierra Leone, Africa, there was a chimp sanctuary, and it was 3 Americans, 2 Africans. Little did they know, the 31 chimps that were in this sanctuary had escaped because they're very abusive to these chimps. So these abused chimps escaped, 31 of them. And when they're going down, all of a sudden this ginormous chimp named Bruno, which was the alpha male, came into the middle of the road. He's 6 feet tall and weighs 270 pounds, which is double the amount of a normal chimpanzee.
That's Brock Lesnar.
Huge. They stopped, and then the chimp Bruno starts running towards this car, jumps and is banging on the car, rips the side mirror off, punches in the back window, grabs one of the African man's hands. Gates to the sanctuary were closed, and so the driver, who was African, tried to ram the gate to get through. Nothing happened except it disabled the car. There was one American in there whose name was Gary. He was knocked unconscious when they hit. The African driver got out, took off into the woods, and then the 2 other Americans got out too. Bruno gets Melvin, bites his foot off, and then Gary grabs a big stick and starts jabs him in the throat, and then Bruno stumbles back and then takes off into the woods.
The scary animals in this story are the humans that abuse the chimps.
So what does September, October, November, and December look like in the future for our country, the United States, and around the world? I do predict that things are going to change in a dramatic way here in the United States. And not only will it be an extraordinarily hot temperature-wise summer and a very, very cold upcoming winter, perhaps I believe the coldest winter we've had on recorded history in the last 50 years, but we're going to see an uproar of violence. It's going to be between people that love the United States and against people that do not love the United States. And I think you're going to see a shift in the Democratic candidate for presidency, which is going to create, again, another shift in human perspective about where our country's going and where it came from and what it's going to be like. And I think that it's going to create a lot of tension. We're going to see another display of what we might consider the Floyd incident again, which triggers all more violence in the United States. And as my heart aches to say, but I see a super bloodbath occurring here in the United States, especially during the month of October and November of 2024. But I do believe that there will be a new president in the United States, and I believe Donald Trump will be elected, and I believe things will begin to smooth out somewhat as we go into the early months of 2025. So I do want to caution each of you around the world to be at peace today. Remember, your outer world is a reflection of the way you are on the inside, but when you've got 8 billion people on the planet and 335 million people in the United States, you've got all these different beliefs and cultures and perspectives, and their outer world is going to manifest to them based on their reality. And many of these people are not thinking clear, they're unconscious, they're full of fear, and fear is what triggers off negative, destructive events. And I think you're going to see that happening, but I also see a great shift and a great awakening as we go into the spring of 2025. Humanity will begin to change in a positive way, but get ready for September, October, November, December of 2024, because it's going to become very dangerous. So I do want to caution each of you as I'm also predicting a terrorist attack in the United States and extreme violence, but a change in presidency. And with Trump's election, will create a lot of tension with people that hate America.
I'm not psychic, but this was obvious to all of us, and it only becomes a bloodbath if you, American, allow it. The media will play you against each other. Again, it's time to take a stance.
Can someone please tell me what this is?
Is a boat? Ooh, it's a Photoshop. looks like Photoshop.
So, studies have been done to show that the flavanols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees in a beehive in your bloodstream, and they go out and they find wherever it needs to be repaired. If it's in your heart, they'll fix it. If it's in your liver, they'll fix it. If it's in your skin, they'll fix it. And so we can eat foods like high flavanol cocoa in order to be able to actually get the stem cells to work a little bit better. Now, how do we know this actually works in people? Well, clinical studies have been done with high flavanol cocoa to show that in like men who are in their 60s with heart disease, they could actually just have 2 cups of dark chocolate hot cocoa a day for a month.
Yeah.
And they doubled the amount of stem cells in their bloodstream, and their circulation improved measurably. And then what's even more important and impressive is that there was a study called the Cosmos study that was completed recently that showed that eating high flavanol cocoa decreases the risk of cardiovascular death.
Yeah.
Right? Over a period
Like
of
a statin.
Like a statin.
Right.
Exactly. Except made with by eating the same thing that you use to make chocolate.
That's
so
incredible.
we're not telling people to go out to have chocolate, which is a confection. It's got a lot of sugar and all kinds of other stuff in it.
Yeah.
But it's the stuff underlying
Underneath it,
the core.
The only issue I worry about it that all cocoa beans, well harvested, show high in lead content.
I really, really don't want to spend more than $1,000.
I understand. $1,000 is a lot for you. I hear your concern.
Watch how this genius closes a deal at 4 times the price.
I'd like to propose something else.
Please.
I'll do the video for you for free. If we get the results that you want, I'd like a percentage of the results.
That sounds fantastic. What's the percentage that you're thinking?
Well, we're talking about measuring the difference between traffic and revenue that you get. There's lots of things I can't control. So all I want to do is get paid per new customer that walks in your door. Since you say each customer is going to spend $100 with you, so half. $50. No risk to you. I take all the risk, and I rely on your honesty. What's the hesitation?
I'm concerned that you're going to make a banger video, and then we're going to get a lot of clients in the door, and then I'm going to be out 50% of that revenue. What if it exceeds 1,000?
It's going to exceed 1,000. That's the whole point. I take all the risk. Or you can just pay me what I'm worth, and you keep all the profit.
What are you worth?
4,000. That's the minimum.
I'm going to take the 4,000.
Let's do that then.
It's funny how he thinks I'm losing 50%. He should be looking at I'm gaining an extra 50% by getting this help.
I was giving a friend of mine a ride home one night, and we were going 80 miles an hour in an SUV in the fast lane. She said something to me, and I looked at her, answered her, and when I looked back, all the cars in front of us had come to a stop. I shouted at her, "We're gonna hit." I hit my foot on the brakes, the tires locked up, and the last thing I did was crank the steering wheel to the side and ducked. And there was a flash of light. And the next thing we know, we're sitting upright, driving 80 miles an hour still, now in the carpool lane with all those cars behind us. It was impossible. It was something I couldn't understand. It wasn't weird enough to make me think, oh, it's aliens. Like, But the bizarre thing was that more things kept happening to me that I couldn't explain. And then there was this one night. I woke up in an extreme panic. And the sheet got pulled up over my head and back tight. So much so that it pulled my forehead back. My instant reaction was my hands reached up, grabbed it, and pulled it down. And when that happened, I froze. And I couldn't move any part of my body. Couldn't move my eyeballs, nothing.
The conclusion is aliens? Come on, man. And the last part was sleep paralysis for sure. I've had similar experiences long time ago.
Everybody's seen one of these before. Today I'm going to show you how to open it without knowing the combination. So we're going to start at 0, and then we're going to turn clockwise, going back to 0 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go one more just to be safe, because we want to pick up all the discs inside. Add some tension to the shackle, and turn clockwise until you feel a number that stops you dead in your tracks. In this case, it's about, 25 feels good. So let off tension, go back past 0, turning counterclockwise. When you hit your number, add some more tension, and rotate. And what you're going to hear is the shackle's going to pop. Just like that. Once you hear that, turn clockwise again until it opens. And there you go.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to pass the second number and then go back to it. So how did you open that one?
We'll give you employment if you're unemployed. We'll give you welfare and security. All we want in return is all of your labor for all of your life. Didn't you read those 732 pages of the 1935 Social Security Act before you signed the application? The entire text of the contract is in writing. It's always been available. And any judge will look at you and say, why didn't you read the contract then? And you might say, well, I didn't know anything about the Social Security Act of 1935. Nobody presented the contract to me. That's because it's called an adhesion contract. You didn't hear of adhesion contracts in public school? By the way, who operates those public schools, ladies and gentlemen?
Who?
And who operates Social Security? If you knew that you were worth $435,000 over the course of your life, can you understand why government doesn't want you to understand the Social Security Act? Now, the IRS Form 1040 comes into play right along this line also, and it is in the nature of an installment note, yearly payable upon continued exercise of the franchise and its derivative of the law merchant. Among other things, this is why the IRS manual in the legal reference guide at page 58, section 11 states, quote, in any case not provided for in this act, 26 U.S.C., the law merchant shall govern. All states have adopted this in their uniform business and commercial codes. In the UCC 1-103 of Arkansas Uniform Commercial Code, 85-1-103, Washington Revised Code 62A 1-103, every state in the Union has such a provision. The government uses the power of attorney that was granted with the signing of the Social Security contract when they seek a redress of grievance. This is revealed in 26 U.S.C. 3101A, the connecting link with Title 42, the section on the 1935 Social Security Act, Title II and Title 11. In other words, law is written line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little. It's the methodology whereby we keep you perpetually deceived because, first of all, you've never been trained in law, and secondly, those that are trained in law would have to be trained in legal research to ferret out the connecting links to tie the jurisdiction of Title 26 and the income tax to Title 42 with Social Security. The average mind simply cannot cope with such a system. 3101A of the Federal Insurance Contributions Act, called FICA, where it says, quote, old age, survivors, and disability insurance, in addition to other taxes. What other taxes do you think they're referring to? It's called withholding. There is hereby imposed on the income of every individual a tax equal to the following percentages of the wages as defined in Section 3121A, received by him with respect to employment as defined in Section 3121B. Without a Social Security account, you can't pay an income tax because you're not a taxpayer. Social Security Act is the contract whereby you gave your power of attorney to the Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare. It was under that power of attorney that you gave him the authority to tax you under the Income Tax Act of 26 U.S.C. Now, the connecting link has to do with money. It doesn't have to do with the Social Security Act of and by itself or the Income Tax Act, because there was an income tax in the United States during the Civil War. The first income tax passed in the United States was passed by New York State in 1778. A little known fact of our historical past.
I have close relatives in the state. They live in New Hampshire. They told me if you didn't want to pay taxes, you go get a job. They force you to fill out a W-2 and force you into compliance, or they won't hire you. Is that right?
Crazy things I've seen on the internet today. Harvard researchers think that there are aliens that are living on Earth with us. They have 4 different theories to sum them up. They think that there's an advanced human civilization that's living in secret, a non-human civilization that's living in secret, magical crypto-terrestrials that are living in secret. They are comparing to like fairies or elves, that there could be aliens or humans from the future living on Earth in secret. By secret, they mean amongst us or underground. And I hate to tell Harvard researchers this because I'm sure that they've wasted a lot of money researching this. But have you ever seen a member of Congress? If you have, you know that aliens exist. They don't die. They look like lizards. Need I say more? The United States has been forecasted a horrible hurricane season, well above average. And in the most obvious manner ever, FEMA says that they will not be prepared for this because they don't have enough money. Even in the years where they have had enough money, their response effort has been abysmal at best, so I am curious to see what it's going to look like when they don't have any. I could think of some areas that we could pull money from that we should not be funding in the first place, if you're catching my drift. A drunk customer attacked a Waffle House employee after she took his cigar. This happened in Myrtle Beach. Obviously, the drunk person was being belligerent, as drunk people do. He was smoking the cigar in the restaurant, which you're not supposed to do. The employee basically took it and put it on the counter. The customer then followed the employee to the back of the restaurant and beat the employee up. He punched the employee, who fell to the floor, and then he started kicking her in the head and the neck.
Ooh.
The drunk guy also had a knife, and although he did not cut the employee, he did cut somebody that tried to jump in and help the.
Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, they're demon folks. There's no aliens. You remember when FEMA went to the Hawaii fires and stayed in luxury hotels that cost thousands per night?
A new material developed by MIT researchers should be able to block out sound entirely, and the image you're looking at right here is not an exaggeration, not some weird artist concept. Yes, the material actually is a thin piece of fabric like a sheet or curtain, and it's supposed to block out sound entirely. Technically, it's an advanced material or metamaterial, and what they discovered is 2 things. They could make a material that either does not vibrate and oscillate when hit by sound waves, or a material that is artificially constrained by an electrical current that blocks out pretty much all sound so that a single piece of fabric is equivalent to a big, thick wall. Now, they said, we've invented this material, but we can't think of a use for it yet. At least that's what they said here in this article. Well, if you've ever lived in an apartment complex, I can think of a use for it. I have run into every type of bad apartment neighbor possible. In the suburbs, they have road construction that goes on for just, it feels like years. It feels like they can do like 2 feet of asphalt per day. Or my neighbor that drives around in what has to be a Mad Max car because it shakes the windows as he goes by the house. Or my other neighbor that I swear to God is running a dog rescue because they have to have like 12 dogs that constantly bark, and I don't even know how they sleep. Maybe they're vampires. Maybe they're up all night. But if the material invented by MIT works as they say it should, I should say, a little bit of a tongue twister there, then I can immediately think of dozens, hundreds of uses. I don't care what the price is. I don't care if this is like $100 per square inch. I will buy a ton of that and insulate my house against all this annoying urban living nonsense and sleep like a baby.
This is incredible, and it's genuinely wild they cannot think of any practical applications.
People that suffer from ADD and ADHD don't really realize that ADD and ADHD very often are not attention deficit disorders or attention deficit hyperactivity disorders. They're actually attention overload disorders. And we characterize people that have ADD as not being able to pay attention. But the truth is they don't lack the ability to pay attention. They lack the ability to pay attention to so many things. If we understand that this is an overactive mind, not a mind that's trying to pay attention to too many things, then we can go about quieting the mind and not stimulating the central nervous nervous system to match that pace of the mind, which is kind of what Adderall and 5-ANs and amphetamines do when you take them for ADD and ADHD. So if we understood that as normal or as good as we think we feel, we have no idea how good normal feels until we find the missing raw material in our body and we put it back. You want to see magic happen in human beings? Find the raw material that's missing and put it back in their body. And by raw material, I mean simple things. Depending on who you talk to, there's 72 minerals. I think 16 of those are essential minerals. There are 2 essential fatty acids. There are 8 essential amino acids. It is astounding how many people are clinically deficient in some of those basics. And then they go searching in all of the esoteric super supplements and red light therapy and NAD boosting supplements, and they're actually just missing that one of those raw materials. Basic essential amino acids, basic fatty acids, and basic minerals. And that's where all human beings should start. And then from there, in my opinion, every human being should do a genetic methylation test, the very same test that you did. And whether they do it through me or not, a genetic methylation test is a test you'll do once in your lifetime, and it will tell you exactly what raw materials your body can convert into the usable form and what it can't. Because in human beings, just like in that tree analogy, when you have a deficiency, you get the expression of disease.
Attention overload. This is exactly right. Overload is real.
This angel is worse than Satan. The book of Enoch explained a group of fallen angels known as the Watchers. And what they did will shock you. There are 200 of these angels that fell, and here are a few of their names. Samyaza, Azazel, Armaros, Arakil, and Barakil. Now let me explain why these angels are so bad. Azazel taught mankind how to make weapons for war. This act alone resulted in chaos, even still to this day. But it gets far worse. The leader of these angels, Samyaza, is far worse than Satan himself. Here's why. Not only was Samyaza the one responsible for leading every fallen angel to sin, he also led a series of experiments with the other fallen angels. They created a series of twisted, disfigured beings with human DNA and animal DNA. This whole story is spoken about in the Book of Giants. It says the 200 angels chose animals on which to perform unnatural acts, including presumably humans.
Let me know how you feel about that, folks.
Why does the Ethiopian Bible recount the creation of the world in periods of 49 years rather than the mainstream 6-day creation narrative? The Ethiopian Bible uses a unique system of timekeeping. Instead of the mainstream biblical timeline, the Book of Jubilees measures history in periods of 49 years. For example, the covenant between God and Abraham was established in the 20th Jubilee, and the Exodus took place in the 50th. But it gets even crazier. The Book of Jubilees provides exact dates for key events like the births and lifespans of significant biblical figures, all fitting perfectly within these 49-year cycles. This level of precision challenges the traditional, often vague timelines we know and suggests a highly sophisticated understanding of time by ancient scribes. The concept of Jubilees implies that time itself is a divine cycle, with each 49-year period marking a complete renewal. This idea reflects ancient beliefs that history repeats in patterns, but there's more. The Book of Jubilees also hints that these 49 years cycles are influenced by the stars and planets aligning with ancient astrology. This all suggests that everything in history happened and will happen in patterns of 49 years. It is like our realm might have been meticulously planned or manipulated by divine forces.
I often wonder how much has been hidden by the elite and secret societies.
Come all the scary guys are the nice ones.
If you are intimately familiar with violence and you are capable of violence, the less you have to prove, the less amount of violence you have to do to ever be successful at anything. In law enforcement, the more trained and capable somebody is, the less amount of violence they ever have to do. My family will never know the amount of violence I've done to understand like how soft and gentle I am to them. My kids have never seen a harsh hand out of anger or out of fear or an ego position. If there's harshness, it's out of love and wanting them to be better people. Jordan Peterson talks extensively about a man being pushed to his absolute limits. He should be capable of doing violence. And he's a good person because he chooses to be kind. Like if you're not capable of hurting somebody and you don't hurt somebody, that doesn't mean you're good. That just means you're useless. But if I'm able to take your face off, but I choose to be kind and gracious and giving and selfless to you, now I'm good.
It's so true.
He speaks facts. However, most law enforcement does not have this kind of restraint and will not work towards de-escalation versus execution of power.
I swear you can feel it the moment someone's energy goes from friend to foe. The moment someone switches up on you, there's just this overwhelming sense of I know it's true, but I can't prove it yet. And I feel like only people that have discernment know what I'm talking about. This happens because when people start to dislike something about you, that resentment builds up and you start to see it in different areas. If they're jealous of you, they can't hide that for long. And the longer you wait for that proof to cut them off, the bigger the example gets, because they start bursting at their seams. For example, they might make a side comment here and there, and you second guess yourself when you feel that energy difference. I feel like they're kind of jealous of me, but maybe I'm tripping. And then one day you buy a new car, and then they blow up and they make it extremely clear to you. And after it happens, you're just like, damn, I knew I was right. And you'll notice that the signs were there the entire time. Personally, I notice these things because I'm always observing people. I'll look at a person and be like, your mouth is smiling, but your eyes are angry. I think your brain picks up on that and lets you know that wasn't genuine. Something's off. That's when you get that vibe. This person, not to be trusted.
The moment their energy flips to weird, I get away and stay away. It's not just about jealousy, it's so much more than that. If you don't fight, I just move on.
My friends and I got permission to metal detect this Viking Age farm in Finland. These are our finds. Villa got the first find of the day, a Russian copper 2 kopeck coin from the turn of the 19th century. Next find was by Dennis. This was his first day swinging a metal detector, and he managed to find this awesome Swedish coin. Then I found something truly amazing, a 1,200-year-old silver Arabic dirham from the Samanid dynasty. These coins were looted from Persia by Viking raids and brought back to Finland. Up next, I found a Russian 2 kopeck coin from 1852. It's in pretty rough shape. Then I unearthed another spectacular find. This is very likely a Viking Age axe head, possibly medieval. These axe heads are hard to date, but blades of this particular style typically date anywhere between the year 500 and the year 1300. My next find was this cool old buckle, probably 1600s or a bit newer. Then I made a spectacular coin find. This is a Swedish copper clippy from 1624, which is a square coin cut out of a sheet of copper to speed up production during wartime. Like and follow for more amazing Viking Age finds in part 2.
Finns were not Vikings. More likely the coin got there by trade, not by Viking raids.
You're looking at a sapphire ring right here. Can you guess the price of this stone?
Ooh.
Guess inside your mind the price of this gemstone. It's a 35 carat natural sapphire. And the answer is, stone with the ring is $1 million. Now, can you explain to me real quick why this would be $1 million?
Well, this is an extremely rare sapphire from Burma, Myanmar. It has 2 colors. It turns to purple.
And you're saying that this has been in the back of the safe somewhere for a long, long time?
Yeah, we saw the article in the New York Times this weekend, so we were intrigued to see how far we can take this to.
Yeah, that would be nice. So because of the New York Times, you get to see this gemstone come out, and it's in a platinum mount. It fits me as a pinky ring. Here we go. If you want to purchase something like this and you want personal service,
you can DM me at Melissa Trucks at NYC, or you can give me a call at my direct line 929-216-4797 to make this beautiful ring yours.
And remember, she comes with the ring.
All right.
You ever overshared with the wrong person and later on you thought to yourself, I never want to do that again? We've all been there. The next time this happens and you feel pressured to continue that pattern of oversharing, I want you to go Grey Rock. Wait, what? Yes, Grey Rock is a communication tactic where you become more bland or basic with your responses and overall less engaged in the conversation. And for reference, I'm Well with Rael, your communication coach, here to help you socialize and articulate with kindness, class, and confidence. Executing the Grey Rock method can be hard for those of us who are extroverted or like to talk or have a pattern of sharing certain information with certain people. You might also think that going Grey Rock means you're being cold, defensive, or angry, and that doesn't have to be the case. So here are a few examples of replacing oversharing with some soft Grey Rocking. Yeah, remember I told you I got fired last month? It's been so hard finding a new job. People just don't respond. I was barely making rent as it is, and now my severance is almost up, and I'm really worried. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still looking for a new job and going to a few different networking events to hopefully meet new people and find new opportunities. Which networking events? Local ones that I've heard people talk about over the years or I've Googled. If you know of any good ones, let me know. You know, I was telling you we were going through a really tough time in our marriage. Well, things are taking a turn for the better. We started going to therapy. We told our kids about it just to be super transparent with them. And we're really hoping for the best. Things are a lot better. Thank you for asking. We went through it a little bit, but are taking it one day at a time. And we've been in a really good spot lately. Have we considered therapy? We'll see. How about you? How are you guys doing? When am I going to finish school? Well, to be honest, my grades have really slipped this last semester. I had this one professor who really wanted to fail me for some reason. I don't know why. It's like he was out to get me. And we'll see. I might be delayed in graduating because I'm just not doing so well right now. I'm working on graduating as soon as possible. I might actually take a few extra courses to make up some credits and speed the process up. Am I late to graduate? I don't know. I've seen people graduate way earlier and way later than they should have. Bottom line is to keep your tone friendly while keeping your answers vague and open to interpretation. You can dial it back and go gray rock without getting overly icy or awkward. Let me know if you try this, let me know if it works, and keep it in your back pocket.
If you don't know, now you know. She is gorgeous, by the way. She looks like Anna Hathaway and Julia Roberts at the same time.
Every bit of your content is 100% private. So if you're working on an airplane, no one can see what you're working on, and all of a sudden your workspace can travel with you anywhere. Anything that you can do on the web, you can do on a space-top. This device, we just announced the G1 a little bit more than 2 weeks ago. It's had a huge response from the world at large. People are really excited and ready to have the space-top in their hands. It's shipping later this year in October of 2024.
Wow. Anyone else remember getting yelled at for sitting too close to the TV?
All right, now I want y'all to pay close attention to what's going on right now. Y'all see all these Chargers, y'all see all these muscle cars right here, and y'all see the cop right there? They are gang till they die, literally. They're not playing no games, bro. I guess one of their homeboys getting pulled over, and ain't nobody leaving them. And you can see, bro, we can count them. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, too many of them trailing this police car right now. Now, y'all gonna see what happened at the end when the cop actually pulled over, and you're gonna see how crazy this actually looked. But this take loyalty to a whole nother level. This take brotherhood to a whole nother level. If it's any women in that car, it takes sisterhood to a whole nother level. Because I ain't never seen nothing like this, bro. Look at this. Look at how many cars pulled over for their friend, man. If the cop pulled, bruh, you know how many cops that cop about to call? You know how many police cars about to pull up? Think about it when you get pulled over by yourself, how many police cars they can call just for you.
Yeah.
And you be sitting there like, why you got to call all these people for me? I ain't here to hurt nobody. You call 3 different trucks up here for little old me. Imagine how many trucks he about to call up there for all of them. I know he looking like, what is going on? I know he's super confused. Extremely confused, bro. Like,
If they call back up, what can't we? Alright folks, I'm going to end our video with this coming clip. Be kind to each other. If you haven't subscribed, please do. There's a free gift below if you like, and if you want to buy me coffee or support me through Patreon, the links are also in the description below. Thank you for watching. Have a prosperous day, and God bless.